All right, so nothing crazy on that. Just a fun little piece of jiu-jitsu. You'll get hours and hours and hours of practice on that if you keep training. It's just part of it. Personally, I think being in closed guard is super dangerous. I like playing closed guard, and I hate being inside someone's closed guard. We'll get there towards the end, but basically, last resort, if they're dangerous enough, like I'll literally roll over and give them mount, because I think mount's easier to escape than a closed guard with a lot of people. But that's for a little bit later. So one of the little rules I didn't mention that I just noticed is whenever you're here, there's an invisible, this is when you're in someone's guard, their legs are in between me and them. So obviously it's different if I'm in mount, they don't have legs in between us. But there's an invisible line right down their center, their belly button line. Me on top, I never want my elbow crossing that line. If my elbow goes across that line, they have a lot of attacks right here. So that's another thing to keep in mind. If they're doing like arm draggy, pulling stuff, like I need to literally like cross body and pull away. So when he's taking me one direction here, I block the opposite shoulder and I pull. And then this is like a game because I intentionally do this from the bottom, and as soon as they do this, then I attack this arm right here. They're pulling this one and I start, see that? So it's like a game of cat and mouse. You gotta be aware of of all that stuff. Keep going the whole time. So posture, elbows inside right here, down this area right here. We're gonna start with the most basic one, the guard break. Just let me talk for a second. The most basic guard break with just the elbows. So, like I said, I've been training almost 16 years, and I've been doing this one since day one. I've done it in black belts, like it works all the way up. You just have to be a black belt at doing this move, because I've heard some people say like this one's fake, it's garbage, but I've done this to black belts. This one really works. It's a very strong one. And in my opinion, like if you're not like a super skinny or speedy, fast style jiu-jitsu, this is the best one because it's like cooking. You're gonna get your elbows in, and you're gonna get it in a safe spot, and you're just gonna cook if they don't open up right away. And then if they attack and mess you up, you break what they're doing, get back safe, and then right back to cooking. You're just gonna keep the pressure on until you open their guard up. It's constant. So at some point, if they can't attack you, you're just gonna have to open up and start playing open guard, and then you're out of the closed guard. So the most simple one is just the elbows and the inner thighs here. So elbows inside here. So what I see most beginners mess up on is when they do this right here, their hips start coming off the mat, and then it just makes it's when I pin his hips to the mat. If you just look at his legs, his hips are to the mat and I'm pulling this way, it's stretching his legs, right? And it's eventually gonna break. If I'm doing this, but his hips are going, and then eventually his body keeps going, like it's never gonna break open, right? Because I'm not putting pressure on the joints. So pin the hips, elbows inside, pick the side that you wanna go to, and then one leg, knee right in the middle of the butt, the opposite leg posting out, basically like a knee on belly here. And then whichever side this leg's posted out, that's the side I'm gonna twist. So I'm driving my elbows in, and I'm gonna twist that direction here to break his guard open. You'll feel it, there's a lot of pressure there. And then another mistake I see people, they get this, they try really, really hard, they break it, and it breaks open, and they just relax, and they pull them right back in the closed guard. So once we get here, stay strong, and I'm gonna keep my elbows strong here, and I'm using them as pressure, and I'm just gonna go to a half guard. So now there's no more full guard, and I'm ready to start a pass. Super safe spot right there. So here, so make sure all the stuff we already went over is still good here. Knee in the butt, pin his hips to the mat, post. And then I'm pressing my elbows outwards as I'm twisting here. And it breaks open, and then I'm gonna back out like I'm tripoding up. My butt goes up, and I keep all this pressure on my elbows here, and I force them into a half guard. Very simple, but takes the practice to get it right. Any questions? And if you've never felt this before, you're having trouble, I'll let you see what it feels like. Good? Right.